Praise in Christ. What a wonderful Sunday we have today. Christ the King Sunday. Today we celebrate a king whose home, whose palace is in our hearts. Today we celebrate Christ the King Sunday. On Christ the King Sunday, we try to bring out the differences between the kingship of Christ and the kingship of humanity. In our world, human beings have taken the kingship to mean another thing. It's no longer an act of leadership, but an act of loading burden on others. Now we strike the difference of Christ being a king who served his subordinate, his followers, while the kingship we see on earth here have servants, have followers. Everything is being done for them. A king cannot even drink water by himself. A king cannot eat by himself. Before a king eats any food, the servant must taste it, meaning, if anything will kill you, I should die first. Our kings move with security, with soldiers, with police. Why? Because they are feeling so insecure. Why do you feel insecure? Because you have not been just. Comparing them with the kingship of Christ, Christ the just king, the peace giver, the lover of all, the giver to all, move freely without soldiers, without security men. You and I are the security men of Christ. You and I are his soldiers. But his kingship is not a kingship of war. It's not a kingship of carnality. His kingship is a kingship of good news, of love, of forgiveness, of sharing with those who don't have, of helping each other. My dear friends in Christ, today we live in a world whereby the kingship title is distorted by greed, envy, jealousy. When the king dies, the sons, the children begin to fight. Who becomes king? No. In the case of Christ, while he was still on earth, even before his death, he has chosen us to be his own brothers and sisters. He said, I no longer call you slaves or friends, because no slave knows what his master does. I now call you my own brothers and sisters, because I tell you everything about my Father's kingdom. I tell you everything that my Father said. We share everything in common. My dear friends in Christ, you and I are invited to proclaim this kingdom near and far by the way we live, by the way we relate with each other, so that when people see you, they will know you are a son or daughter of that kingdom of peace, of love, of charity, of forgiveness, of understanding, of humility, of peace, of sharing. That can only be done when you and I accept the reality and the fact that we are not worthy, but yet, despite our unworthiness, he has chosen us to be part of his kingdom. Let us not load it on others. Let us not look down on others. Let us help each other and come to this kingdom that is prepared for us. And so, in the preparation for this kingdom, there are a lot of things that we need to carry along with us, and there are a lot that we need to drop. We have to drop hatred. We have to drop envy. We have to drop selfishness. We have to drop greed. We have to drop every act of wickedness, sinful act. We have to drop them. Because these are laws that are not permitted in the kingdom of eternity. What are we supposed to carry? What ticket do we need? We need the ticket of humility. We need the ticket of love. We need the ticket of understanding. We need the ticket of forgiveness. We need the ticket of sharing. We need the ticket of helping others. Without these tickets, we can't go to that kingdom. And that is why today the church invites you and I to reflect on this kingship of Christ. He was never moving in luxurious cars. He was never living in a beautiful palace somewhere. That beautiful palace that Jesus wants to live is your heart. So how you prepare the palace is how Jesus will live in. If the palace is so dirty, if the palace is unkept, Jesus cannot stay there. You must clean it up, every stain of sin. You must make it clean, you must make it pure, so that Jesus can find time and stay inside that palace. As we prepare to welcome the King, as we prepare for His second coming, there's a striking question that each